What's creepy, Paravlog fans? Today we're going to discuss whether or not children are able to see paranormal entities or ghosts or whatever you want to call them. We're going to see whether or not they have more ability to see them over adults. First, we have to decide whether or not children can actually see these things. Is it plausible, is it feasible that children can see ghosts? This isn't something that I can give you definitive proof of because there isn't any. But most people that I've encountered, unless blindly skeptical or extremely religious, believe this, and they can even have a story of their own to share with you. So if a fairly large group of people believe this to be true, there must be some supporting theory as to why this phenomenon occurs. That's what we're going to talk about. Most people subscribe to the theory that because children are so simple and simple-minded that they're not influenced like we are and they can see things that we cannot. I actually like this theory, and I'm going to go a little bit more into detail, a little bit more scientific with that theory. A typical 3-year-old doesn't really understand what a ghost is or how to react to them. Therefore, they cannot draw any preconceived ideas if they were to see something that us adults couldn't see. Basically, our body and our mind are always seeking homeostasis, which means to not change. Because change most certainly means energy, and the less energy we use, the better. Because of this mechanism, our body will actually lock on to the truth as we know it and actually censor out information that we're perceiving that contradicts what we know and what we believe to be true. This is all to prevent change because it's much easier for our body to perceive information, relate it to something that's already in our head, rather than perceive information and create a new directory for it. A similar mechanism to that is called the reticular activating system, and what it actually does is it censors out information that we're perceiving in order to help us concentrate on the task at hand. So what that means is things that are happening in reality right around us can literally be censored out by our brain for the sake of concentration. To give you an example, our body actually has hundreds of thousands of little tiny hairs covering our skin, and you never notice them when your pants touch them or your shirt rubs against them, but I bet if you stop and think about it now, you know they're there. You weren't thinking about that before. Your body was receiving that information, but it completely ignored it. But now that I brought it to your attention, now you can feel it. To relate this back to the subject of whether or not children can see ghosts or not, and why, as adults, we have a lot of priorities on our mind. We have bills to pay. We have to go to work. We have important deadlines at work. We have a lot of things on our mind. We also have a preconceived truth within our mind that either ghosts do not exist at all or ghosts are really hard to see. So with those two facts that I just presented you about adults and the two mechanisms that we just talked about, I think we can undoubtedly conclude that adults could very, very possibly be missing out on parts of reality that are actually existing right in front of our eyes. Now, children, on the other hand, have very little preconceived knowledge of the world. They're young and they're learning and they don't know things already. Things that appear to them that are new, they're just learning about. They don't have anything to relate them to within their mind. They don't know anything about them. That's why children are so curious. Also, children have very little priority. You know, for the most part, their parents or whoever's taking care of them typically takes all that priority out of their hands. They don't have anything to worry about. Now, with those examples, I think we can conclude that children can easily be seeing parts of reality that exist before us that adults do not see just due to those two mechanisms. So, can children see ghosts? I'd say it's definitely possible. As always, thumbs up. Comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, and don't forget to check out the blog because I'm going to be posting a bunch of experiments and stories supporting the mechanisms that I just talked about that occur within our mind. And, shh, did you hear that?